Talk to me about what life was like for you growing up.
So I was born with a skin condition called eczema. And I think while I was growing up, it wasn't too big of an issue because I was just being prescribed topical steroids, and that was covering up the issue. So it wasn't a major part of my life at the time. But as I've gotten older and certain medications haven't been working, it's just taken over my life quite significantly.
Yeah, yeah. Talk to me a little bit more about just the beginning stages, just having eczema. What was life like during that period?
Yeah, I mean, so it kind of starts off just as small rashes along your body, and it just starts spreading. Yeah.
Yeah. So you said it had a major impact on your life where you're at now. Talk to me a little bit more about that. In what ways?
Yeah, so this time, 6 years ago, I started going through this condition called topical steroid withdrawal, TSW. And what happens is you've been using these medications, they've been prescribed to you by GPs and doctors, and at some point they just stopped working. So then, since then, I've been going through this adverse reaction, experiencing really intense symptoms that have just taken over my life.
Yeah. How would you say it impacts you mentally?
A lot. um, I've had really, really dark periods throughout this 6 years. I think because it has such an impact on your physical appearance, it's really hard for it not to impact your self perception and how you see yourself. It's really hard sometimes.
What's it been like for you? Obviously, now going to the GP, maybe seeing some doctors. What's that been like and how's that process been?
Yeah, I think interacting with healthcare professionals has been really challenging most of the time. I think they are quite invalidating and they dismiss your experience, which is really hard as a young person trying to navigate the healthcare system and not knowing how to do that and wanting answers, but just being dismissed all the time. And you end up feeling like really, really isolated actually, because you can't get the help from the people that did this to you.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's a sense of like anger towards them and frustration as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think frustration is a really good word. That's a really good way to put it. I think you're kind of stuck in this cycle of your skin getting worse, trying to get help, and then not being believed, being dismissed, and then you're just in that constant cycle.
Yeah.
And it's also really hard for people around you to understand what you're going through and the level of pain that you're experiencing day to day.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit more about that. Like, what are some of the things that you're going through behind closed doors that maybe people are not noticing or seeing?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are aware of skin conditions like eczema, psoriasis, and acne, but something like steroid withdrawal, that's a relatively new thing to the public and to myself as well. As someone that has had a skin condition, I wasn't aware of the side effects from these medications. So some of the things that I've experienced are um, like intense burning, um, shedding, flaking, peeling of the skin at this really extreme level, and it's quite dehumanizing as well at times. Just waking up every day, looking in the mirror and seeing your body deteriorate in front of you. It's a really extreme thing to go through.
Would you say that it's been a major hindrance in life in terms of like maybe the things that you wanted to do or maybe just going out to places and stuff like that?
Yes, definitely. I started I started this experience when I started university, and that was during COVID as well. So that was so it just made it a lot harder to get seen and to get help. And then I was on campus, but everything was online. So I was mainly in my room on my own going through this, which I didn't really know what I was going through, and having to navigate it on my own has been incredibly isolating.
Yeah. I know earlier you mentioned that, at the start you was going through a really dark period.
Yeah.
What did that part of your life look like?
I think just from the lack of support that I was getting and not knowing, just having like all of this unpredictability with my skin and the timeline of the events just put me in a really dark place where I was really depressed. I had debilitating social anxiety, and also I was suicidal as well. And I did attempt to take my own life at one point. And I think after that period, I think I had this newfound perspective on life. Like, I'm so grateful just for simple things like moving my body and just being able to wake up and get on with my day. But I think with this condition, it's so unpredictable. So you do just have to be grateful when you can do things.
Yeah. What were some of the thoughts that you were having that kind of led you to the point where you wanted to take your life?
I think just I'm in so much pain every single day. No one's listening to me. I'm not getting help. I can't really see a way out of this. Yeah.
How did you get to the point from obviously having those thoughts and wanting to take your life to where you're at now, where you're like trying to enjoy the little things and get better?
Yeah, I think my mental health it's always up and down, and I think a lot of the time it is dependent on my skin, which is unfortunate because that is out of my control. So it's very hard day to day. It's always up and down.
Yeah. Excuse me if I ask this in a wrong way, but do you feel like maybe sometimes your skin defines who you are, in a sense of where everything else about you gets ignored because of your skin condition?
Yeah, definitely. I think in society there's a lot of value placed on how you look, and especially as a young woman as well. So I think to go through this experience where it changes your appearance in such a significant and dramatic way is incredibly hard and confrontational as well. But it's also made me rethink how uh, how I value myself, and my value doesn't come from how other people view me. It comes from internal validation.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So how would you say you see yourself today?
How do I see myself today? I think I'm really proud of myself for getting through, all of this on my own as well. And even like with the things that I post online, I think at first I started it out of desperation, and I was kind of looking for other people to help me. But along the way, it sort of turned out, the other way around. And now people say that I motivate them to keep going, and that I inspire them, which, yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah. Is there hope that your skin's gonna get better over time, or what's the situation now?
Yeah, no, I think with withdrawal, it's kind of just a period of waiting, because I've been going through it for 6 years now, coming up to 7. And hopefully, I'm out of that stage. But in terms of my original skin condition, eczema, that is sort of a lifelong thing that I'm having to manage. And I think it's even harder now because I'm not relying on steroid medication. So now it's trying to figure out how to deal with that in a natural way.